I've got two really exciting pieces of Diablo II Resurrected news. Blizzard has just announced the 22 Days of Terror holiday event. The bonuses this year are pretty awesome. We'll walk through all those. And second, Blizzard has released a new patch for D2R that includes some of the user interface updates for China, where they had access to additional stash tabs. Could this be the first sign of additional stash tabs available worldwide? Quality of life win or pay to win controversy? We'll break it all down. But first, gotta ditch this corny hat. First, we're going to talk about the 22 Nights of Terror holiday event. This is Blizzard's annual event that usually happens around Christmas time and the end of the year. And with that, there's three big buffs, three bonuses that you get this year. First, in Terror Zones, you'll actually gain 25% bonus experience. Second, all of your characters receive a bonus 250% magic find. That is massive. And third, and maybe the most impactful of the gameplay, is that 19 Terror Zones will be active 24/7 during these 22 days of terror. And so when does this event occur? So it actually starts on December 16th and it goes through January 7th. You'll have the same bonuses the entire time during the event. There won't be any sort of rotation or special days, kind of like in past years. And one of the big things that has happened in past years has been some of the gambling events. So there's none of that this year, but this is really about finding those rare, unique items and doing big leveling pushes with your characters. So how can you best take advantage of these bonuses? Well, first, you want to think about how you can best utilize those 24/7 Terror Zones. So 19 of the Terror Zones, and we don't know which ones, are going to be available 24/7. They say popular Terror Zones. So we got to assume all the boss ones, Andariel, Mephisto, Worldstone Keep for Baal, and Chaos Sanctuary for awesome leveling and getting to kill Diablo, and other great Terror Zones for experience or farming, like, for example, Talrash's Tombs. Now, you've got your choice of all of those Terror Zones at your disposal. Combine that with 25% extra experience, you have the flexibility of picking what's most important to you. So if you want to go out there and finish a grind to level 99, pick those TZs with amazing experience. Chaos Sanctuary, Talrash's Tombs, those high density, great zones to target for experience. I could see some chain bail runs just really piling on that experience. So how about magic finding? Well, first off, you can target those amazing bosses, Andariel, Mephisto, or just do one of those other great Terror Zones where you get a combination of experience and that boss kill like Chaos Sanctuary. Not only do you have that benefit of running that boss over and over again without having to worry about which Terror Zone is this hour, but you've got that bonus 250% magic find. So let's talk about that part a little bit more. So there's two approaches that you could take to that. One, you could stack absolutely massive amounts of magic find here with that bonus 250. It's just a free 250 magic find. The other approach here is you could optimize your character for damage. So knowing that you've already got that baseline 250% magic find with diminishing returns, that's actually a really solid number anyways. And you could go out there and you could just plow through those monsters that much more quickly if you're focused on damage. And another thing that it does is it can unlock some builds that really are challenging to kind of gear for magic find, and all of a sudden those could be great magic finding characters because they've already got that inherent 250% magic find. So take any build, any class, any gear set that you want, and you can use it for farming uniques. Now, one limitation here is that this only applies to online. So if you're someone that plays single player offline, unfortunately, you're not going to get any of these bonuses. But for those of you that are online playing ladder, non-ladder, get out there, take advantage of these 22 days, farm the hell out of those Terror Zones, level up, take advantage of the magic find, and see what amazing items and final leveling pushes you can do with these bonuses. Let me know in the comments what you think about this year's bonuses and if you're disappointed about missing out on some of the variety of past years. All right, we're going to shift gears now, and we're going to talk about stash tabs. Okay, here we are. Blizzard just released patch 2.7 for Diablo II Resurrected. And we've been playing this game for a number of years. And this is the first time in D2R's history that they have messed with our stash tabs here. So let's take a look at this. We've got personal and 3 shared stashes here. Now, these are much smaller tabs than they were before. Now, if you'll notice, we've got some space over here for more tabs. So this is the user interface that they have right now in China, because Blizzard recently released D2R in China. And in that market, they kind of have a little bit different approach to microtransactions and other kind of, we'll call it pay-to-win concepts. And if you pre-ordered the game and did the premium package, you had access to some items and some additional stash tabs. And in fact, in China, they had up to 3 additional stash tabs. Now, taking a look at these tabs here, I mean, I only see a room for about 2 more. So I'm not really sure how that would work out with 3 more stash tabs. But there's some really interesting potential here. So here's a quick little side-by-side on how the stash tabs look now with the new updated user interface and what we've been used to seeing here in D2R. Now this is really exciting, but Blizzard hasn't announced anything. You know, we're just guessing here. We're projecting what this might be. So could these be extra stash tabs that you have to pay for? Are these going to be microtransactions where, say, we get an extra tab for $5? How many can we buy? You know, it's a little bit of a slippery slope. We're not used to having these sort of microtransactions here, particularly in D2R. And I'm not a big fan of that, but, you know, for extra stash tabs, would I pony up $5-10 for a little bit more? Probably. I mean, I'd have to think about that a little bit. Conceptually, I don't like it. I mean, if they want to add more, great. Add more in the game. Don't make us pay for it. But it's at least exciting from the extent that there is a patch. There's been some updates. Hopefully it wasn't just some random mistake applying the Chinese UI here. But the game is not completely dead. It's not completely undeveloped or abandoned. It's kind of felt like that for a while, with all we've been getting is new seasons every few months. But we've got the 22 Days of Terror. We've got the update to the UI. You know, at least some things are moving. Maybe it's pure copium, but whatever it is, at least it's something to talk about. It's something to take a look at and see where Blizzard takes this. And let me know what you think. What do you think's going on with this? What do you think Blizzard's going to do? Let me know what your opinion is. Would you pay for more stash tabs? What would you be willing to give up for that? Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your 22 Days of Terror. Farm the crap out of those terror zones. Get your godly gear. Finish your leveling journey. And I hope you're like me and you're excited about the potential for new changes to the stash and hopefully more development, more attention to D2R by Blizzard. I appreciate you sticking around with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Wish it would fit. Doesn't fit. Merry Christmas!
Farewell,